All right, how do I start? How do I start this one? How does anyone start when they're admitting a deep, dark confession? Well, I've given you some spoilers, so today's the day. Today's the day that I'm going to admit to you all why I don't just hate shortening sleeves from the shoulders. I don't do it. So first, we're gonna level set. I'm gonna remind you where we're looking. What we're talking about here is the placket, the sleeve button placket on a standard suit jacket. This one doesn't actually have buttonholes, but it is what I've got to work with. So just imagine for me, because the process is the same. So you've got the bottom of the sleeve and you don't want to take all of this apart for buttonholes, whatever reason, doesn't matter. So the next thought is, come up here and remove the length from the shoulder. Yes, yes, very interesting idea. It's just that shapes. Shapes are really the stumbling block for all of this for me. So I'm gonna show you this flat sleeve now. You know what the sleeve looks like connected. Now, this is that same sleeve taken out at the underarm seam and taken off at the shoulder. Traditionally, suit jackets have a two-part, so that's why you see a seam sort of in the middle. That is the seam that's running back down the bicep and gives the sleeve a little bit of a curve. So that brings us to a really important point. Do you see how when I lay this flat, even though I'm saying we're looking at it flat, we actually aren't. These pieces are not flat and not straight. This seam is not straight. That's why we have shaping here. And all of this contributes to why shortening from different places in the sleeve could be a good or maybe terrible idea. So I'm gonna leave it this way as we're talking about it because this gives you an accurate representation of that. Now, before I get into my little demonstration, I wanna tell you something else, which is this section is the part that goes along the shoulder. I don't know if you've seen a sleeve flat like this before. This is traditionally what a two-part sleeve looks like, where it's got this nice little ski slope here, whereas a traditional one-part sleeve, one piece of fabric, actually like I'm wearing, would have a seam right around here, and this section would be over here to make it a little more uniform. The suit jacket is the perfect way to explain this procedure because typically suit jacket fabric does not stretch. And so what you're working with is going to look exactly the way you think it will. You can't just manipulate it that much into where you want it to go. One other piece that I've removed, but is important for you to know is when this shoulder cap is set into the sleeve, you know, it curves. It curves up onto the shoulder. How does it do that? What structure is underneath? And that is this. And we literally call it a sleeve cap, which has a foam interfacing on the back and a canvas interfacing on the top. And it's sewn together at the shoulder, but as you can see, that shape is not remotely similar to that shape. The reason that's important is because this is going to help it curve once it's sewn in, and it's literally going to be sticking out like that, but on the shoulder, okay? So, I know this is a tricky one, but all of this is really important, so let's keep going. Now, we've removed this so that we are looking at just the shape of this sleeve ourselves. I like to draw this on paper because I have more training in pattern making, which gives me a better understanding of this flat, as opposed to trying to explain it in a draping way. So that's why I'm going about it this way. As you can see, I've got my actual sleeve, fabric sleeve right here. But I've traced it off onto paper because again, I really think that visually 2D is the best way to experiment with this procedure. So I'm gonna take my little fabric off. I'm gonna take this off, and we are left with the actual shape of this sleeve. So we don't have our seam going down, that's distracting, and now we can have it lay flat. So that's great. To go back and level set, This being the bottom of the sleeve, the flat area that it gets turned into the opening of the sleeve. Let me show you that again. This is this flat. That's what we're looking at right here, right now, okay? Now, if you were actually shortening from the shoulder, you wouldn't lay it flat like this. Just to clarify, we are doing this strictly to understand the difference between just shortening right here and taking a few inches off the bottom and shortening up here and taking a few inches off the top. To roughly illustrate what we'd be doing to the bottom, I'm literally just going to draw a line. Let's say that we want to shorten the sleeve 2 inches, okay? When we're doing that from the bottom, 1, 2, this graphing paper is great because it measures it out already. So let's just draw a big fat line right there and say, if we were shortening it from the bottom, we would literally be shortening it there and then remaking the sleeve with the placket opening. But we're not doing that in this case. We're coming up here. So if we want to remove 2 inches, okay, let's uniformly remove 2 inches from the top of this sleeve. I am going to mark that in. Now I'm just connecting the dots. I love experiments. Big reveal. You ready? Okay. Okay, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think you need to have any training on pattern making, clothing making, anything at all to know that that looks weird. I mean, nice and weird. Ain't no way a shoulder is going in there, okay? If you know more than I do, and you might, and you decide you're gonna comment on this right here, this atrocity, this blaspheming that I've done, awesome. We can't wait. We are ready. Everyone, me and everyone else, can't wait to read all of your notes, because if I am understanding this wrong, I want you to tell me, and it's your responsibility now. I put myself out there. I did the dumb thing. Look at how dumb it is. Okay? Problem number 1, shape. We talked about that. So this is what it looks like when we're going to uniformly remove 2 inches. Fine, that didn't work. So what do we try next? Next, we know that to actually reduce the length of this sleeve, we need for these 3 points to have 2 inches less, okay? If we were gonna remove 2 inches from the bottom, but now instead we're just gonna remove it from the top, we can change the shape and the curve, but we know that we have to keep this distance the same, remove 2 inches here, and this distance on the underarm seam the same. All right, so then where's the flexibility? What can we change? Let's mark that again to remind ourselves that yes, we still have to cut here, here, and here. But what if instead of 2 inches, we only removed 1 inch from each of these vertical, let's call them vertical sides. So I'm gonna mark that in now, and let's look at how that changes the potential for our shape. I'm gonna roughly draw this before I cut it this time, just because we're dealing with some little bits here. Great. And then hitting that same mark at the peak, but then coming over to 1 inch, and then back down to 2 before we hit the underarm. Perfect. I can see now, and I think it's much more obvious, we've got a much closer shape. Cool, I like this, that's great. And then just going back to reiterate one more time, I wrote these in. 2 inches down here, reduced to only 1 inch on the side, back to 2 inches at the peak of the shoulder, down to 1 again as we head down the ski slope, and then 2 inches right there at the matching underarm seam. So these are the 2 seams, remember, that will come together for the circular tube of the sleeve. Now what we're going to do is bring this piece down so that we can see how close we got on that shape. As I'm looking at it, I'm honestly pretty happy with it. maybe that really does work. And the reason that I'm doing this, the reason that this matters is this is our new sleeve cap. So that's why I want to know how closely it mimics our previous sleeve cap. In a perfect world, it would be exactly identical, and then we would know for sure that all we did was shorten and not change the shape of the sleeve and therefore the fit of the sleeve. So again, let's go back here. I'm lining up my sides here. I'm going to put a little tiny weight right there. And then I'm going to come up this curve, and my terrible drawing aside, these lines are pretty close. See, when I lift that back, you can see that that's right under there. So, okay, have we found the key? Is this it? Did we actually do it right? As we come down to the underarm seam, this is where we find our problem, okay? This may seem non-essential. It's the underarm of the sleeve. Why can't we just take it in a little? But what you're saying here is that you are reducing the entire width of the sleeve all the way down 3/4 of an inch. And to be honest, that is just way too much. That's an entire size down. Now, you have a sleeve that is one size down from the suit jacket you're about to insert it back into. Why do I care so much about this? I care about this 3/4 of an inch because I know how much of a difference it will make. The reason that we can't just move this whole cap down is because sleeves taper as they travel down the arm towards the wrist. I think we all know that, right? But how much do they taper? Yes, different sleeves are different. If it's a massive sleeve that fits huge overall, maybe you're in a different situation. Maybe you can afford to lose almost an inch the entire way down. But remember, again, if you change the size and or shape of your sleeve, you're inserting it back into a jacket that it all of a sudden doesn't match up with anymore. So what are you going to get? In this case, with this amount of loss, what you're going to get is a still structured shoulder, because we'll put this back in, right? We'll put all of this nice padding back in. So, okay, you'll have a cap shoulder, and then you'll have this, too tight around the bicep. And it'll have that drop off that a lot of people hate, I do too, because it's too tight down here. Not only will that restrict your movement, but it does change the look even when you're standing still. When you're moving, you're gonna see that reduction in a place where it didn't belong. See, because when you're changing a size of any piece completely, you're gonna change it all over. In this case, we're deciding that this is gonna stay exactly the same, but we're just gonna like chop off the side here. It just doesn't work for me. If you need to lose this much fabric, I think you're just looking at a different coat. Okay, I love what we figured out here. I think this is awesome. There are things that I've suspected about this, but I really needed to actually sit down and map it all out. And now that I'm looking at it, one, I can see why people will do it if something is massively oversized. Okay, fine. That makes sense. But I'm still, surprise, surprise, in my own camp. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do this. I think that the risk in the shape and the loss is too much for me. So, for me, if it's more than about 1.5 inches and it can't come off the bottom, sorry, but you might need some new clothes. Okay, now you know the risks. It's just a matter of if you want to take them. So for me, I'm still in the shorten from the bottom camp. But if not, you can tell me all about it. Like, subscribe, watch all the other videos, and tell me if you like this stuff, and we'll do more of it. See you next time.